Shalom, Yahawah, Baraka. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahweh, Rakak, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers over at GMS that have been bringing out this 100% truth for the last 40 plus years. And I originally saw this response by GMS South Carolina 08, the beloved elder Menachezak. If you have not subscribed to his channel, I suggest you do so. And the name of this video is a very important message to all Israelites. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our own little response to this video. So without further ado, let's go. Let's get right into it.
Shalom and greetings in the name of Yahawah, our Father. I'm going to briefly say this, because I've been feeling it in my ruach for the past couple of days. I don't think this is the generation that will see the second Exodus.
We're going to address that.
It might be our grandchildren. Because this generation, yes, he's chosen to awaken us. But we're not worthy to escape his judgments. We're not. And here's why I'm saying this. Because we're not humbling ourselves. We're not turning from our wicked ways. We're not. Yeah, we have knowledge of who we are. We have knowledge of Yahawah. We have knowledge of his name. We have knowledge. We have knowledge. But there's no true repentance. We passed on this information to our children. I know I have. And I've encouraged my children to pass it on to my grandchildren, so that my grandchildren can pass it down on to my great-grandchildren. So I believe there's a possibility that Yahawah may come from my grandchildren. Because I've seen nothing but a big old bowl of hot mess with this generation of Israelites. An embarrassment. Especially the ones with platforms. All of y'all with platforms. Every single one of you.
While she's on her platform.
What ministries, or what YouTube channel, or what a TikTok account, or whatever. It don't matter. Y'all all need to repent because you're full of arrogance and pride. Oh, you have to be the right one. Oh, you're the first one to say this. You know what? Yahawah don't care about none of that. He gonna purge out this generation. He gonna purge us all out. We were the chosen generation that he awoke for a purpose, so that we can pass the torch down to the generation that he's actually, probably, most likely is coming for.
And we'll stop right there, because that's what I want to address today. He is going to wake us up so 3 generations from now can receive the kingdom. Let's get into it. Let's get right into it. Now, of course, we've got to address the fact that she is a woman on a platform, when she told us not to be on a platform, but she's on a platform telling us what not to teach. We're not doing anything. We already know this. So pretty much she's saying, you guys are done. Don't worry. Like, literally, she is saying that everything we are doing is worthless, pretty much. That the only people that are actually going to be saved is in 3 generations from us. And so we're only here for the purpose of waking up. That just doesn't make sense. Now, she said that shit like 50 years ago. That would kind of make some sense. But now that the prophecies are being fulfilled quicker than the domino effect, I got to show you guys this. First things first. Let's go straight to the book of 1 Timothy 2 and 12. Yes, we're going to start there, lady. That's where we start when we're teaching the truth. So where would you guys like to go? The King James Version, the New Living Translation, the New International Version? You know what? Let's read all three of them. Let's start with the King James. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. You want to hear it in the New Living Translation? But I do not let women teach men or have authority over them. Do you understand that a little better? You shouldn't be trying to teach men or trying to show an authority over them by telling us what's going to happen. Now, you're the fucking prophet. Don't you know a prophetess will prophesize through song and dance? You're not. But anyways. Okay. Let me read it again. I do not let women teach men or have authority over them. Let them listen quietly. See, this is what's wrong with women today. They got too much pride. They got too much authority in their own minds. So their self-entitlement is getting them all mixed up in what the truth really says. I'll read the New International Version. Why not? I do not permit women to teach or to assume authority over man. See, you guys assume that you have some kind of authority, but you don't. That is a self-righteous authority, a self-entitled authority. She must be quiet. So first things first, a woman must be quiet. Now she's saying that this isn't the generation that's going to be, it's going to be in like my great-grandchildren, very possessive, like your great-grandchildren are going to be saved. Well, good for you. But what we're going to do as Israelites, we're going to let the Bible do the teaching. And as men, this is why we have men teaching in the first place, because we let the Bible do the teaching. The reason why women shouldn't try to usurp authority or assume that they have authority is because you guys do everything through feelings and emotions. I feel like this ain't the generation. This is how I feel. So it's got to be right. Nine times out of 10, your feelings are wrong when you try to run your life on emotion. That's why you need a man over there to control things. Get everything back to stability. You look miserable. You honestly look miserable. Look at that face on her. Does she look happy to you guys? I don't see a happy person. I'm just saying. Okay, let's go to Matthew chapter 24, because what in Matthew chapter 24, it really just sums it up. Even though I should start with Isaiah. You know what? Let's do that. Let's start with Isaiah, then we'll go to Matthew 24, because I got to bring out what Isaiah says about Isaiah chapter 30, starting at verse 9. Let's get it. This is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of Yahawah, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's what she's doing. She's prophesying lies. She's a rebellious child, or she would just be quiet. Where'd her face go? Where'd your face go at? Yeah, there you are. She should just be quiet. Let the men do the teaching. Let the men do the prophesying. Let the men be in control like they should be, so everything can go back to righteousness. So now we know that it's just a bunch of rebellious children out here. They don't really care about the Most High. She don't even say the right name. And everybody will say that. You're saying Yahuwah. Show me that in any Paleo-Hebrew script, or Phoenician, or anything that's at the real text, in other words, the real pronunciations. It's going to be Yahawah. And when you look at the characters, it would be Yahawah. And Wah together is Wah. Yahawah. Yahawah. So, no, it's not Yahuwah or Yahushua. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that stuff, too. It's an insult. It's an insult. Just keep saying my name wrong. I'll address you if you say my name wrong too many times. I know Bishop General Nathanielika of IUIC, if you don't address him by his correct name, he won't talk to you, but he tells you that the name doesn't matter. That's a contradiction in itself. Back to it, though. We're not going to sit here and obsess about the name. We're going to go back to Matthew, like I said, chapter 24, and we're going to address the generation that is going to be awoken at the end times, and the generation that is going to be saved, okay? Okay, because there's going to be a generation of people that do get saved. So let's see which generation that is. So if everybody would go to Matthew chapter 24, and we're just gonna, you know what, we're just gonna start right at the beginning of the chapter. We might as well. Let me get it in both versions. Hold on, let me sit down too. Let me get it in both versions. So we're gonna get it in the King James, but I like to put it in the NLT also. Really, this is so self-explanatory. I shouldn't need the NLT, but you know what? I don't. Let's just get it. So this is Matthew chapter 24, starting from the top. And Yahawah went up and departed from the temple, and the disciples came to him to shew him the buildings of the temple. So this is really important. So the disciples, his students that were under him, were like, look at all these great temples. Look how great they are. Look at all the temples of the buildings. Isn't this beautiful? And Yahawah said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And that destruction's coming now, woman. I don't know if you've noticed, but Maui, I would say a organized destruction. You got North Carolina, organized destruction. You got California, organized destruction. Hold on, what is that? Breaking news. New fires in California, all the way in San Diego now. Organized destruction. They took away the water. And in North Carolina, they wouldn't give them anything back, remember? And in Maui, they kicked them off their land and sold it to the highest bidder. Or the lowest bidder, for all we know. The people that wanted it, got it. We're at that time. So the destruction has already started. When you go to other countries, they're fighting, right? So let's keep reading. So they're showing him the temples. Yahawah is telling you everything's going to be destroyed. Verse 3. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? So when is it going to be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the sign of the end of the world? Now, that's a very important question. He said, what shall be the sign of thy coming? He's sitting right there with them. He's sitting right there with them. They're saying, when are you coming back? Because they know he's going to leave at some point. But he's saying, when are you going to come back and save us? And then he says to them, and the end of the world. So what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? So what's going to be the end of this world as we know it? And what's going to be the sign that that's happening? Because this woman said in like fucking maybe another 100 years, that Yahawah will be coming. Another 100 years, yet we're waking up now. So let's see.
I don't care what ministries or what,
oh my gosh,
YouTube
yes.
channel or what a TikTok account or whatever. It don't matter. Y'all all need to repent because you're full of arrogance.
She says that we need to repent because we're full of arrogance. Okay, but you're speaking. Anyways, just showing her face. I'm just putting it back up there, that's all. So, they want to know when it's going to be the end of the world as we know it. They even made a song, too. Remember that song? This is the end of the world as we know it. Well, guess what, woman? It started when Biden took office. Nothing is the same already, and you can never go back. They've already changed everything. And so the domino effect has started. We're coming into Jacob's trouble, and the children of Israel that are righteous are going to be saved out of it. You're saying we're all going to just die. So let's keep reading. Verse 4. And Yahawah answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Don't let anybody come up here with their false out the side of their neck prophecies lying to you. Verse 5, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Now she said, oh, we all know Yahawah. She don't even say the right name. So right now we already know you're a deceiver because the people that study know the correct pronunciation to the name. So you're not even saying the name right. So that's how we know right away that you're coming out of pocket. Let's keep going. And you shall hear of wars. I don't know, like Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Hamas, Israel and Houthi, rumors of wars, Iran versus America, Korea, you know what I'm saying? Korea, you've got China versus Korea. Everything's up in the air. What is it? We've got all the countries right now getting prepared for some type of battle. So you're going to hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. But he's showing you that the end is near. So keep listening, because this is how we know when he's coming back to save us. So when we go back to verse 3, and as he sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming? So this is the sign of Yahawah's return. You're saying that he's going to wait 100 years pretty much before he returns? Your great-grandchildren? Your great-great-grandchildren or whatever? Okay. Right on. My great-great-grandparents were, almost in slavery pretty much. Like going back into the 1800s, right at the end of slavery. They had a farm. So, I mean, okay, but let's just calm down and keep reading. So I told you, you're going to hear about these wars and rumors of wars, but the end is not yet. We still have to fulfill all the prophecies. And nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. While the California fires were going, there was a 7.2 earthquake in Tibet. Each year that we get closer to the return of Yahawah, do you know the catastrophes increase? So last year, it was the most earthquakes ever in history. This year, we're already on our way to breaking that record. And every year before that, there seems to be a little bit less and less and less. So the storms and the earthquakes and the pestilence and the famines are getting more and more powerful. They're increasing in our lifetime. Maybe not in yours. I don't know how old you are, but there's a lot of us that got a long way to go to hear you saying, well, if it's not me at my time, then it's going to be nobody. That's pretty much what you're saying. Because you're getting old, you don't think that you're going to see the end. You think that nobody else is either. You're just trying to make yourself feel comfortable. That's why women shouldn't teach. You're completely on your own emotions. Even if that's not your thought, it was your emotions that brought you to the conclusion, not the scriptures. Not the scriptures. Because if you were going by the scriptures, you would have never said anything in the first place. So let's just go ahead and keep going. So let me read it again. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All of these are the beginnings of sorrows. Like we keep telling you, we're coming in to Jacob's trouble. And you know, we can get that too, because like she doesn't realize that's how we're going to get saved, is through Jacob's trouble, when she thinks it's going to be when everybody comes back to the Lord and we all start worshiping and find peace before he gets here. That doesn't make sense. But we got Jeremiah chapter 30 on deck right here. Let's go down to verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even means indeed the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Now, people that are going to be saved out of Jacob's trouble are going to be the children of Israel that follow the instructions of Yahawah. So when all these people think that they're going to be saved just because they're an Israelite, that is not true. There's going to be 2/3 of the people that are not going to make it. And a bunch of them are going to be like, but I prophesied in your name. I praised in your name, Jesus. And that's probably when they're cut his fucking head off when he says Jesus again. You call me Jesus enough times, I get pissed off too. Just like this woman saying Yahawah. So anyway, my children shall call me by my name, not by any name they can think of. Now, for the lack of not knowing the name and you're calling on what you know, that's called grace. Once you know the correct name, you got to stop that and start going with what the real name is. And that's just how it goes. Oh man, I thought your name was Carl all this time. You're telling me it's Doug? I apologize. Let me start calling you Doug from now. It must have been insulting, but people don't think like that. They think, oh, I can just call anybody anything I want, but you better address me by my name. It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. I get hung up on these people thinking they know everything, but they can't even call upon the correct name. And I'm going to show you about this 2/3 real quick. All right, Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. Let's get it. Let's see what it says. Let's go straight to the King James. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahawah, 2 parts, all the land, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the 3rd shall be left therein. So that 1/3 that's going to be left is who's going to be saved in these end times. That 1/3 that's going to be left is who he's talking about when he says, don't worry about anything. It says, what does it say? It says, this is verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. It's only talking about the 1/3. The 2/3 should be troubled because they know that they're not in a good place with Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawah Shai. They're not doing what they're supposed to. So subconsciously, they're continuously justifying themselves. Just like this woman right here. She's justifying her false prophecy. She really thinks in her own mind that no, none of you gonna make it. None of you. Wow. How insulting. None of you gonna make it. So all the stuff that you learned from us, you're just gonna put that on the back burner and decide, nope, you're wicked. You have a platform. Everybody has a platform. You're on your platform right now trying to false prophesy. So let's go back into Matthew, and then we're just gonna read a few more. I think we've put a nail in the coffin. So, but really we gotta go through this because this is really what it's gonna be like right before Yahawah Shai returns. The beginning of sorrows. I showed you that's Jeremiah 30 and 7. And that's Jacob's trouble. But you shall be saved out of it. Who's going to be saved out of it? Zechariah 13 and 8. It's going to be the 1/3 of the Israelites that come back to the 100% truth. Not any of these people that you might have zeal, but not according to knowledge. That's why you're not calling on the right name. So maybe you might not make it on this side. But I mean, I don't even know what to say about all these Christians and Israelites that refuse to call Yahawah Shai by his correct name. I don't know what to say about that. I'm starting to become confused why if you know something or if it doesn't resonate with you, then the truth doesn't resonate with you. Let's keep reading. Let's go back into it. I told you verse 8. These are all the beginning of the sorrows. That's when we got into the Jacob's trouble. So let's go to verse 9. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. Now that's where she comes in. She is part of that affliction. and wanting to take out the Israelites because we got a platform and we're too prideful. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. There's that name again, because you refuse the name too. So you already in your own pride, in your own prideful, fucking whole room's full of estrogen just listening to her. I'm telling you, it's it's that self-entitlement. It goes all the way back into Jim Crow, where they're going to make the woman more powerful than the man and try and take the so-called Israelite man out. And so these women are so used to this lifestyle, they really think that they're wiser than the men that got them into the position where they're at right now, and they don't even understand that. You don't understand that we built every fucking thing you guys have, every little luxury you have, and you women come in with your mouth and emotions and feelings and thoughts, but never any facts. So if you're going to say some stupid shit like that, prove it. Prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt before you come in and prophesy. But anyway, let's keep going. Verse 10, and then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. There you go again. That's you. You're offended at the truth, and it makes you hate us. And now, by going on your own platform, you're fulfilling prophecy because you're portraying your own brothers. I mean, betraying. You're trying to portray us too by false prophesying, but you're betraying us by going on a platform and then talking bad about us. You'll never see a woman from another country do this to their man. Only in America. Only in America. Land of the free. Land of the hypocrite. Let's keep going. Verse 11. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And that would be all of the stuff that you see today, even her. She's false prophesying right now. So the people that listen to her are now deceived. You are a false prophet. Let's keep going. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. Now here's the part where you're wrong. Because you said maybe your great-grandchildren will be saved. But right here it says, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come. Okay? And we can stop right there. That's when the end comes. And guess where we're at? We're fulfilling all those prophecies that I just said. We're coming into Jacob's trouble. The gospel's being preached. There's African tribes out there right now calling on Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawah Shai. You go to Australia, you go to Canada, you go to the islands, the Virgin Islands, you go to Cuba, you go to anywhere. I don't care where you go. People know about the Israelites. So guess what that means? This gospel has been preached to the world. The good news is going out, woman. And you've made a big mistake. You're telling us in a couple hundred years maybe, or in 100 years maybe, then he'll come. Thank you for that lie, but we're not receiving it. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, don't listen to women teachers. If you're a young woman and this woman's saying, I'm going to teach you how to be a better wife to your husband, I'm going to teach you how to cook right. I'm going to teach you how to pray, how to worship, how to cover your head, how to mend a dress or a garment. I'm going to teach you how to be a real woman that puts her family and her household above all things. Not to be out here teaching. Now then the women should listen to you. But the men, we have no business, because the woman is not here to teach us. The woman comes from the man. The man does not come from the woman. And that's what we're going to close out with right there. We're going to close out with that. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, starting at verse 8. And this is the King James Version. And it reads, For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. For this cause ought the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. So you have to just be quiet. And the reason why I have to bring this out, because these women, they think that they rule the world, that they're goddesses and all this, that, and the third. Even though they know what the scriptures say, that subconscious thought is that they, like her, she knows the scriptures tell her to be quiet. If she's all about, oh, I've read this and I know that and I read it all, but you're too prideful, and these people with their platforms are too prideful. But you're gonna sit there and try and teach, and you're gonna tell us you're a prophecy. You're gonna be a false prophet. So with that being said, if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, I just hope you're able to get something out of this message. Shalom.